When you're rolling. He's alive!
Welcome back to this week's Cannabis Coast to Coast News special report from the 13th annual MJBiz Con conference in Las Vegas. I'm Elena Pinto. We have so much material from this past week's MJBiz convention and conference that we'll be releasing other interviews every day this week on our distribution network and our app. Our regular news show with Coast to Coast News team will return next Monday, the 16th at 9 a.m. Of course, you can gain access to our news next week by downloading our PCMTV app on the Google Play and App Store. Some of those interviews to still be published will include the CEO and former Navy veteran Dana Schoched for O2Vape. She happened to be on the cover of Cannabis Tech Today this month. Jimmy also met Christian Campbell, who was the lead character in the satirical theater production of Reefer Madness in LA, and is now producing the play and preparing for a nationwide tour. Plus, Debi Facey's road trip to a Vegas dispensary and many more videos. Making face-to-face connections is one of the things that MJBiz Con Senior VP Emilie Lewis explained was one of the most powerful reasons to attend this conference every year in Las Vegas. It was especially emotional for our own PCMTV founder, Jimmy Young. For years, he has been talking and meeting our reporters on Zoom, but enjoyed seeing everyone in 3D, IRL. Here's Jimmy with Matthew Friedlander from Washington State, Marianne Kersagi from Oregon, and Amy Carter at the Grasslands Party. Thomas Howard was there from Cannabis Legalization News and Illinois, and Tribal National follower Tina Tasaka was on the Meet Us stage and sharing her experiences. Amy Carter from Michigan met New England influencer Dab Cowgirl, aka Francesca Sayre. And then there was the adventures of our Canadian reporter, Debi Facey, who was making her first trip to this country and to a U.S. dispensary. We'll have that story and more later this week. Debi did admit she was a little overwhelmed with the whole scene in comparison to what she is used to in Canada. Here's Jimmy and Debi as they reflect a bit.
Holy mackerel. 5 days of weed talk, weed schmoozing, weed parties. I'm way too old for this. Hi, everybody. I'm Jimmy Young, the founder of Pro Cannabis Media and PCMTV. I'm joined here by one of our correspondents who's been here at the show. Her name's Debi Facey. She's our Canadian correspondent. And let's just say Debi doesn't leave the zip code or the area code that much because this is her first excursion to Las Vegas, Nevada. And if anybody's ever been to the adult playground where, you know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, Debi, this has been quite an experience for you. I know we've talked about this. What are some of the things that you remember the most that kind of shocked you when you got to go to a local dispensary on the very first day we were here on a like an educational tour, right?
Oh. So we're going to talk from like the, not even from me landing and doing from that?
Oh, that's right. There is the landing and then actually running into her at her hotel, and she showed me how she adapted a bong. Yes. Why don't you walk me through? That was my first 3D impression of her, okay, just for the record, because we've worked together for years now, but we've never met in 3D. Okay, go ahead. You want to take it from the beginning?
Yeah.
So the first time you laid eyes on me, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. First time I laid eyes.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh. So it was actually pretty intense, but it was almost overwhelmingly fun because he walked into my room and saw a water bottle with a pen and a makeshift bowl. And I had told him that this was my bong and I'm smoking weed. And yes, how do you do that? And I'm like, I went to a dispensary already. This is probably within like the first 30 minutes of me landing. I was like, I need to smoke. And I had nothing to smoke with. But that was like my first intense American experience.
It was a flashback for me because I knew exactly what it was as soon as I saw it.
Yeah, it didn't look like the everyday bong that we see today. It was that makeshift almost. Right. Yeah, we shouldn't be doing it right now. I should know better, but I don't know better in that aspect because I needed to smoke. And I'm a bong smoker, and I'm sorry.
That's okay. She was desperate. She needed to find a glass bong. And I said, well, there's like thousands of them at the show. So, see if you could be patient for a few more hours.
I was not patient.
Is it?
I was.
Well, no, hang on a second. She is very patient because she had to put up with me on an Uber ride. Now, granted, it was a shared Uber ride, which, by the way, was my first experience with an Uber share. So I wasn't quite sure what was going on when we started making stops. But more importantly, Debi got the Jimmy Young high-maintenance characteristic experience.
And repetitive unhipness. No one should ever call themselves unhip, especially when you are with younger people, because then it makes them feel like you're with someone unhip, especially Jimmy. You're not unhip. You're just Jimmy. So I literally needed to tell him maybe 4 or 5 times just to stop using the word unhip. Stop using the word unhip. Even our Uber shared people were just like, unhip? I'm like, stop using unhip. But we got it. We got through it together. We
still love each other.
Yeah. Oh, God, unfortunately, yes. But I do.
Debi, you went back and forth on Uber. You went to a dispensary. I was at the social club last night. I did think of you there, but I didn't see you there. That may still happen. The Planet 13 social club could be on the agenda over the next few hours. This is absolutely been an incredible experience. One thing that has impressed me, and I don't know if you've seen the same thing as I have, there's a camaraderie in this industry that is not anything I've ever seen before. And the hugs per minute in this convention had to set some kind of a world record. I was so thrilled, Deb. First of all, you gave me an amazing hug when I first met you. Second of all, there must have been 10,000 hugs going on. Am I wrong?
No, I'm not. No, actually, I think about it, I'm like, yeah, we really didn't do like that 6 foot kind of thing where we had the distance. We really just went in it. Like we hugged and embraced and loved the aspect that we saw each other in person. And I think that was a nice thing. I know that the whole positive aspect of that is what made the show better, because it was more interactive. It had that community aspect, especially for me being a Canadian. I'm used to doing that. America, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of intense. I wasn't sure if everyone loved each other or hated each other, but
it's America. We don't all love each other, but we need to learn how to do that, and I think the plant may have a very good place for that. What do you
Canadian, because we're really polite.
You are very polite, but what was the biggest difference between a Canadian dispensary and the dispensary you went to in Las Vegas?
So, okay, not only was it mind-blowing just due to the fact that we were able to actually see the bud that we were going to be purchasing, but it was based on terpene profiles. It was based on what we actually need to be understanding and knowing when it comes to our cannabis. It's not making sense for us in Canada anymore for us to be basing everything on 25% terpenes or 25% percentage of high. Like, it's not real. And then I'm not trying to be rude about it, but we have to really think about the science behind bioavailability, what actually you smoke. Like, we have to be looking at the concept of what cannabis is as a whole. And when we keep going on in Canada talking about the percentages and losing the aspect of what the terpene profile is, that's why we're going to keep having hiccups, because we're not learning what the plant has to give. We're just learning that a plant has to give this. And it's not right, because roses are roses, but not every rose is the same rose. So
Wait, this is a plant that has a female flower. Shouldn't that mean something?
It means that it's amazing and it's beautiful and it's always going to embrace greatness, but it means that it's very complicated and it has a lot of aspects to it where you do have to indulge and see and tweak that person or that bud to make sure that it's for you. And it's like, it's not manipulating, and that's what I want to make sure. It's not utilizing different things to manipulate it to be something else. It's utilizing the plant and understanding what you're smoking. One thing I loved, and I'm going to stop talking about, but it was probably the greatest thing.
What's your lasting impression going to be of MJBiz Con? And please don't say, hanging with you because I felt like I was in a Progressive Insurance commercial about how you're going to become your parent.
No, it was. I think for me, it's going to be more of the aspect of like, make sure when you come, Canadians, it's a lot of money, but it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of money. Ubers, don't stay far. Stay really, really close. Really, really, really close to the show. Really, really close. Really close.
close to as far away as you were?
Yeah. And don't stay in a hotel where you smell like smoke, just in case. But at the same time, I'm just going into like, the diving of it things. But overall, I would say come with an open mind. But at the same time, have that conversation with people that have been here before so you have a better understanding of what you're walking into.
Debi is dreaming of a time when Pro Cannabis Media and PCMTV can return, and we all stay at the Bellagio. Is that fair enough to be comfortable?
I don't even care about the Bellagio.
I do.
Okay, cool.
All right, she's Debi Facey, our Canadian correspondent. Is there anything you're going to bring back to your nation and say, I had the most incredible experience in America. I was at MJBiz Con, and it was...
Dope?
It was dope. When people...
You just made it sound like it was... You were like, whoa, new word.
No, but it took me a while for people to... They actually called me dope.
See, you're not unhip.
No. Now I know what it means, and now I appreciate it. And yes, not only am I still unhip, but I have 2 fake hips. Okay, so there you go. Hey, we've got a whole bunch of stuff coming up on this special that we've put together over the last 72 hours. So please stay with us. Don't go away. We're going to have more for the Cannabis Coast to Coast special report from the floor of MJBiz Con after this.
Ready to take your craft to the next level? Imagine faster extractions, purer products, and more profits. Sounds good, right? At Pure 5 Extraction, we've revolutionized cannabis extraction with our game-changing technology. No solvents, no heat, just the cleanest, most natural process on the market. Whether you're a boutique grower or a large-scale operation, Pure 5 has the tools to elevate your business worldwide. Visit pure5extraction.com today. Pure 5 Extraction, because your plants deserve the best.
We continue with our special report from the floor of MJBiz Con for Cannabis Coast to Coast News. I'm PCMTV Foundner Jimmy Young, and I'm here with Dana Schoched from O2Vape, which is absolutely killing it in the vape industry. So much so that she was the cover girl on Cannabis Tech Today, or this month. Congratulations on
Thank you,
that.
Jimmy.
Dana, you're a superstar in this industry, whether you like it or not, because you have built something that you care about, and you've built it the right way. I read the article. So how important is it in the industry to take pride in the journey?
Well, I think you have to take pride in the journey. If you don't care about what you're selling, you don't believe in your own product, how are you going to sell it to anybody? I mean, I'm not in this just to make money or to have, reputation is all encompassing. But if you don't believe in your own product or take pride in it, how am I going to sell it to you?
Delivery of a product, including the product, are very passionate for you too.
Correct. I want to make sure we meet our deadlines all the time. We don't leave our customers hanging. You order from me, you will get your product. Unlike some other companies out there who have taken people's money and they don't deliver the product, because that's going to affect your business. And at O2Vape, I look at myself as your partner, because the more successful you are, the more successful I am. I want you to succeed. I don't want you to have problems. You need to succeed.
Isn't it survive to thrive? Isn't that the mantra of the industry?
Sure,
You have.
Thank you. I hope so. 10 years, we're still here.
That's right. And you went through a challenging time a few years ago when you appeared on our show live. We talked about they weren't sending vapes out through the mail anymore, if you remember that.
There's still challenges, with shipping. We have people and we have lobbyists and people working on the Hill to try to separate us, because we are not a nicotine device. We are only for the cannabis devices. So there's still some challenges, that we make it through, though. We're still not, allowed to ship in certain areas and things like that. But hopefully things will change next year.
We got the hopefully things will change theme going on in this industry this week, because we don't know what's going to happen.
Don't know. And, there's talk about the tariffs that, are going to get more imposed. We already pay a tariff. All right, we already have to pass that on. That started 4 years ago. There's always been tariffs, just to make that clear. But the tariffs were more manageable. 4 years ago, when they got slapped on, that brought more tariffs. Now we don't know what those tariffs are going to be.
We all hope that this new administration will be the heroes to the industry and somehow or other come up with a fair regulatory body that can fight with the FDAs, USAGs, DEAs of the world, and also do right by the industry. And I don't know how confident you are about that. And I know. Let me rephrase it. People know I'm not very comfortable about
No, I don't know. I think none of us really know what's going to happen as far as our industry, as far as the rescheduling, descheduling. Biggest challenge for me, and I think for a lot of our clients, is they just need to pass the Safe Banking Act. It is ridiculous that you have license holders that do not have banking and have trouble paying for their products. So hopefully they pass that. As far as like in the vaping sector, the tariffs are the biggest thing. If the tariffs are imposed that they said, that is going to drive the cost of these products up. But at least it's not just me, it's everyone on this floor that's going to have to deal with tariffs.
And no idea what's going to happen. It's the unknown. And I think that's one of the reasons why the money is still kind of on hold for capital and investment dough. People are just waiting to see what's going to happen.
I agree with that. We're having a killer year, though, so people are still buying from us.
That's because you have a great company that you've built. You should be very...
And we're just better.
Dana Schoched, she's just better. And I don't doubt that at all. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm so happy. This is a great magazine.
Thank you.
And they did a great job in that article. We'll have more of our special from the floor of MJBiz Con after this.
I think I messed up. Did you know there's a place that covers all the cannabis news you need? Welcome to Pro Cannabis Media, your go-to for all things cannabis. PCM is the CNBC of weed, bringing you the latest news and talk shows with a twist. We've got 16 state correspondents and multimedia journalists from around the US and Canada.
Hey everybody, it's Brandon Jones with Be Green Distribution with the Missouri Cannabis Report.
I'm Karen Black from Greenfinger Consulting with the Arizona Cannabis Report.
I'm Amy Carter from Michigan Weedsters.
Andrew Behringer here reporting from Washington, D.C.
Debi Facey with the Canadian Toke of the Week.
It all started back in 2018 when founder Jimmy Young kicked off the In the Weeds podcast. His mission? Documenting the fight to end cannabis prohibition. Fast forward to today and we've got Cannabis Coast to Coast with Elena Pinto, delivering the nation's only TV-style cannabis news show.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Cannabis Coast to Coast, PCMTV's weekly roundup of industry news from California to New York. I'm Elena Pinto.
As of August 2024, PCM has racked up over 1.2 million views and 14.5 million impressions on our YouTube channel. With 15,000 subscribers and growing, our reach is spreading like wildfire. PCM's website, YouTube, Rumble, Discord, Roku, Twitch, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and even our very own PCMTV app. Get your cannabis news fix with Pro Cannabis Media. We're here to keep you informed and entertained. Stay tuned and stay lifted.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Cannabis Coast to Coast News Special Report, live from the floor of MJBiz Con in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm PCMTV founder Jimmy Young, and I've got a guy with talent sitting next to me, because not only has he been on stage, but now he's a producer for a famous, I could call it famous, Reefer Madness. How many Tony Awards?
No Tony Award. We got.
Oh, come on!
No, we got it. We had an Emmy Award, and then we had a ton of awards in Los Angeles when we first opened in 1999. Yep.
All right, and this is Christian Campbell, who was one of the on stage for one of the first shows. Were you not on stage for the first shows?
Yeah, I was the original Jimmy Harper when we first opened Reefer Madness in 1999 when it first premiered.
In California.
In Los Angeles in 1999. It was supposed to run for 2 months, ended up running for 2 years, and then swept all the awards in LA back then, and it was really came out of left field and kind of had a cult following, and then we turned it into a movie in 2005 that won an Emmy, and then it's gone on to have its own kind of cult following above and beyond the original 1936 version. Yeah.
And we're not going to talk about 1936 because it was used, the film was used historically as a tool for propaganda and misinformation. Yep. And I guess the first question I'd like to share with you, after I've asked it 3 times and we've screwed it up, it's how to undo the stigma it it created and make it an entertaining musical. That to me is an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, well, what we've done is it's a satire, and so it is. It
They need
Cannabis social clubs are just now starting to pop up in California, but the East Coast has been slow to figure out a model that will work for operators, regulators, and the public's consumers. As you might guess, the one city and state that has extensive experience dealing with adults at play is Las Vegas, Nevada, now with close to 20 cannabis consumption lounges licensed and open. PCMTV founder Jimmy Young couldn't resist to check out the 24-hour, 7-day-a-week Planet 13, of course. It opened in 2021. Planet 13 is the largest cannabis dispensary in the world with 112,000 square feet of shopping space. There are dozens of windows available with bud tenders ready to help you decide which strain might fit your needs as an adult or a medical patient. And best of all, if you want to try some of the products, you might want to visit DAZED, the social consumption lounge that is attached to the store. You do have to reserve a table and step through the magic phone booth to gain access to the lounge that serves up a variety of products and strains and ways to consume them. So check out the menu of infused drinks, 1 gram pre-rolls for $25 or eighths for $60. Plus the device options for the titration or consumption of the products from a Puffco, electric, dabber, or a variety of bongs. Luckily, Jimmy had a tour guide and a tester at our table.
Hi, my name is Joe Brennan. I'm with Columbus Botanical Depot in Columbus, Ohio, cbdhemphealth.com. Today I'm going to show you guys how to run the Zenco, which is dab equipment. We're here at Planet 13 in Las Vegas, so we are in the VIP lounge where we just got served anything we asked for off this menu. Let me show you how to work this thing. We got GMO live rosin hash. We're gonna put it on this little dab tool. We're gonna get enough on there, and then we're gonna stick it down in here. We're gonna push this button so it falls right off, and then we're gonna put the lid on. Then we're gonna put this cup right here. We're gonna hold the button. It's gonna fill this cup with vapor, with cannabis vapor from concentrate. As soon as it gets enough to how much you want to consume, you go ahead and pull it off there and you inhale like this. Wow, amazing. All right, Cody, try it out. The Zenco GMO dab. Ooh, how was it?
So it really looks like you drank that. But because it's vapor, so I get the drinking part because it's vapor. I'm Jimmy Young, the founder of PCMTV at MJBiz Con, and I am experiencing the first ever cannabis social lounge that I have attended in my 67 years on Earth. And here is Broderick Randle. Where's Broderick Randle from, you ask?
I am originally from Toledo, Ohio.
Buttheads!
Yay, you know exactly. See?
Clinger, come on! This is what happens when you get old.
No, that's awesome. Salute and respect to the Mud Hens.
That's right.
But also, I'm currently residing in Columbus, Ohio, where I work and do sales for Benny Leaves.
Benny Leaves.
Yeah.
I think I recognize the name. I know the dispensary.
Do you? Oh, actually, we're standalone processing facility. So we sell to our dispensaries. We make products and then we sell them to dispensaries.
Oh, is there a product I might know about a little bit?
Yeah, and it actually might be reminiscent of a four-legged animal.
Woof, woof.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you did pretty
So he's
great.
talking about yellow labs, okay? And you have to understand, Ander Wensberg is a personal friend. I think I represent his company in a lot of ways. I know that, and I love his product because I was a guinea pig for it 3 years ago.
Okay.
And it was in Berkshire Roots for a year or so, and then, but more importantly, he's in 40 dispensaries in Ohio. And Broderick, are you familiar with the product?
I absolutely am. The product is very unique, discreet, and something that the cannabis and wellness industry should take a look out for and on.
So it's a measured microdose delivery system of a tincture.
Yeah, I call it a less messy tincture. That's my
a less messy tincture. I appreciate that. All right, so I'm in the middle of Las Vegas at this convention. We made all these plans. People are sitting in different places. It's kind of weird getting in, but we came in. And not only do they have weed on the menu.
Yeah, I mean, they have weed, that you can consume and socially.
They sell dabs.
Oh, not just they got all different forms.
Right.
They have all different forms
It's a true tasting experience. Yeah. But I think I'd like to give a shout out to Ander because I could not believe that the guys at the next table from where I'm sitting, okay, I see the Benny Leaves jacket. You want to show your jacket? Show the jacket. Right? And I'm like, wait a second.
Ohioans out there.
He says Ohio, and I'm like, do you know that Yellow Labs is in 40 dispensaries in Ohio? And of course he goes, yeah, I know the product. What are the chances of that happening?
I mean, it's only divine, I guess. It's like, that's the only thing I can think of.
He gets it. You understand, it's always about the plant.
Yes.
The plant brings people together.
Yes, community, always.
It's and religion, it doesn't matter.
All walks of life.
I walk into a dispensary, and I know, first of all, everybody's half my age. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And I know they're not going to know who I am or what I've done in 67 years, and there's some fun stuff in there. And then I start talking about Yellow Labs, and they're like, what are you talking about? And then they say, oh, that would be great. So you have people that come into your dispensary that don't want to smoke it, don't want to vape it, they had a bad experience with an edible.
Yep.
Hello? There's only tincture left or other milder, combinations of cannabinoids at the edible world and everything. And everybody still likes pre-rolls and flour. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
And they only buy cannabis. Everybody does.
Right.
Percentage of THC.
Yeah, a lot of people, they kind of got to get a little bit more informed and be that educated consumer so that you're able to know that, hey, it's not all about THC percentage. It's actually about, the whole, chemical makeup and what, like he said, the other cannabinoids. It's a full spectrum plant, and it has a lot of
good buzzword,
beautiful properties. So I'm pro cannabis because of cannabis has provided a much better quality of life and has changed my life. And, make sure you go check out Between the Buds because, we're all just buds growing and learning this plant and, all walks of life come together and like create stronger bonds and change. We could change the universe. They say one man can change the world. Maybe one plant can change the world.
It makes so much sense. I really, really expect at some point it's going to happen because there are people like you who are committed to the plant, committed to the cause, and we're all in it together. And it really does have a history of medicinal qualities. And it's really the first time we've been able to look at something that says, this is not as bad as we thought it was.
Exactly.
And all that was misinformation, and everybody knows how I feel about the plant. But anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up. I can't imagine that I'm going to have a better end to this special than we just created here.